This is going to be a good one, ain't it? Yeah, it is. Not the game. No. This video. Video is going to be a good one. The game's already over. You know that. Come on. Hey, even if you're a Tennessee fan, if you're watching this video, you know that. Tennessee fan, Georgia fan of some other team, everyone knows this game is over. The 8-game winning streak. Even Tennessee fans have to be tired of hearing about this thing. The 8-game winning streak. Who have they played? Hey, you ain't played nobody. Georgia's beat how many top 10 teams over the course of your 8-game winning streak? But we beat Auburn last week. What Tennessee? Auburn ain't no good. They ain't played nobody. Let's see who ain't played nobody. Mizzou twice. South Carolina twice. That's half the wins out of your 8-game winning streak. Congratulations. Kentucky. Vandy, Indiana, UAB. My God, have you beat a team with a winning record during that 8-game stretch? I'm seriously asking. 8-game winning streak. Oh, all of a sudden you want to talk about streaks. But we bring up the streak. You don't want to hear about, how about this streak here? 33 losses in a row to top 10 teams. You haven't beat a top 10 team since 2006. Georgia beat a top 10 team 6 days ago. Oh, look at Lou bragging over a win over a terrible Auburn team. An Auburn team ranked in the top 10. How many wins do you have over terrible top 10 teams? 0. 0 since the iPhone 2. 8-game winning streak. 33-game losing streak. To top 10. You haven't beat Georgia in 3 years. Just look at your record in modern times against your 3 biggest rivals, Georgia, Florida, and Alabama. God, during the last decade, the 2010s, what was your record against those 3 teams? You play them all every year. 10 years, that's 30 games. 3-27? My God. Tennessee, man, you're so far away from mattering or being relevant in the world of college football. It's honestly pitiful and pathetic at this point. You know, the last couple of years, it was not fun to make these Tennessee videos. It wasn't. I made them because that's just what I do during the season, just like I make one for Vandy and Kentucky, and I made one for Murray State and Arkansas State last year. Tennessee was on the list of victims, so I made the video, but it wasn't any fun. I promise it wasn't. I mean, kicking somebody when they're down over and over and over again, the literal definition of beating a dead horse. I mean, trash talking Tennessee over the last 10 years has been like taking candy from a baby. I mean, it's just been pitiful and sad. But not this year. This year is different, isn't it, Tennessee fan? Huh? This year is different, isn't it? Because you really mean it this time. You really mean it. You really believe you're beating UGA this time. It's not like last time, Lou. It's not like 2019 or 18 or 17 or 8 of the last 10 times we played you when, yeah, we said we had a chance against Georgia, but we knew we didn't, Lou. We were just saying that because, you know, we're fans and the whole trash talk thing. We knew we didn't have a chance. Hey, hello. We knew. You knew. We knew you knew. Did you know that we knew that you knew? That Tennessee is hot doo-doo. But this year is different. The Tennessee fan 100% believes they're winning this game. 100%. And that makes this week fun again. So thank you, Voltards. Thank you. From the bottom of Uncle Lou's heart, thank you for making the Tennessee Hate Week great again. Thank you. Thank you. I mean it. Because beating up on that merry band of nitwits y'all call the football team the last few years has honestly been no fun at all. and beating up you dumbasses in the comments section. I mean, I honestly have felt sorry for you guys the last few years, but it started this offseason. You come out, you beat South Carolina and Missouri, and Tennessee is back. You're back to being the most obnoxious fan base in my comment section. Back to drooling all over your keyboard and your phone, dribbling into your Fruit Loops in the morning when you eat them, checking your Uncle Lou videos as quick as you can to leave some dumbass comment about how you're beating Georgia this year, just so your internet can quit working and you can disappear about 7 o'clock Saturday evening. Believe me, I know it's coming. Not all of you. So let me say that now to be somebody to comment. I'm not going anywhere, Lou. Look, listen, to Tennessee fans' credit, you guys have been terrible for pretty much the entire existence of YouTube, but a lot of you have stuck around. So I got to give credit to the ones of you that stick around. And, hey, that's about the nicest thing I can say in this video, honestly. But the 8-game winning streak is meaningless and pointless. It means absolutely nothing. You have not played or beat anybody anywhere close to the level of a UGA, and you're not going to do it this Saturday either. I'm pretty sure you know that. Now, we might have some bad weather tomorrow, so dress accordingly. You're going to the game. Bring a black umbrella if you got one. You see those at a lot of funerals. Bring that. Who's that going to help? Who's it going to hurt? Rain. Look, Georgia's like the damn mailman. Rain, shine, sleet, snow. Doesn't matter. We're delivering an L to Tennessee. That's what's happening. But it is supposed to rain tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see. Can Garen Dudu throw in the rain? I don't know. Can Jarrett Garen Dudu throw in the rain? We'll find out. He's played okay the first couple of weeks. By okay, I mean he hasn't went out and lost the game for you. You have a pretty low bar at Tennessee in terms of what's good quarterback play, and so far Garen Dudu has delivered for you. Now, we all know he's only one bad pass away from the entire fan base turning on him for the 100th time, and that's likely to happen on Saturday. That's likely to happen on Saturday in the rain. So, but we can run it, we can pass it. They don't make. Are y'all really giving up 254 passing yards a game too? Jeez, thought y'all was gonna have a defense this year. What about your offensive line too? All offseason, best offensive line in America, Lou. Hey, Lou, did you know Tennessee's gonna have the best offense? Hey, Lou, you know we got Cade Mays. You know we got Cade Mays, Lou. Yeah, Lou knows that. Best offensive line in America. Well, I suggest you check some offensive line ratings over the first 2 weeks of the season. Check out the top 5, top 10 if you want. You won't see Tennessee on that list. You know who you will see? Georgia at 3rd again, and that's low for us. Jesus Christ. You get Cade Mays from us. You know what Cade Mays was at UGA? Cade Mays was a utility O-lineman. That's what he was. Somebody got hurt. Somebody twisted an ankle. Somebody had a tummy ache, needed to take a play off. Oh, hell, send Cade Mays in. We send Cade Mays in. The dude played left guard, right guard, tackle, center. He played it all. He's a jack of all trades. Master of none. Yeah, and his name is on the hit list Saturday. That's right. His name is on the hit list. Now, that doesn't have anything to do with you idiots watching this video. But Cade Mays, on the other hand, if he happens to be watching this video, and I'm pretty sure that he is. Good morning, Cade. You're fixing to get your ass ate up tomorrow, son. But anyway, this is the best thing to happen to Tennessee. Getting Cade Mays, is the best thing to happen to Tennessee since they got D'Angelo Gibbs. Hey, can somebody, a Tennessee fan in the comment section, I don't keep up with Tennessee like that, like y'all do. Can somebody in the comment section please let me know what D'Angelo Gibbs' current stats are for this season? I forgot to look them up before this video started. But when D'Angelo Gibbs transferred to Tennessee 2 years ago, that was a game changer. That was the beginning of the end for UGA. Tennessee was back. Georgia missed the boat. You let D'Angelo Gibbs get away. We're screwed. Tennessee's going 100-0 over the next 7 years or whatever it was. I don't know how that's worked out, but somebody let me know how D'Angelo Gibbs is doing up there on Rocky Flop. I would be curious to know. Oh, speaking of the rain. Leave that damn dog in Knoxville, would you? Jesus Christ. And feed that thing. My God, you're not supposed to be able to count a dog's ribs. Are you? How you have a homeless dog as a mascot? And it's not even any kind of... that thing, look, listen. Smokey is a mutt, plain and simple. Now, you can guess what sorts of breeds might be mixed in to his DNA or whatever, but it's a bunch of different ones. Smokey has got to be the ugliest, most malnourished mascot I think I've ever seen. You can count his rib. It's sickening. It's sickening. You know what my first thought is when I see Smokey? I'm like, I can't believe PETA hadn't said something about this. But then it dawns on me and I have to remember. Smokey is so goddamn embarrassing. Not even PETA gives a fuck about that thing. They don't. Smokey is bad for PETA's cause. A mercy. Who's seen Marley and Me? Y'all seen that movie, Marley and Me? Somebody needs to take Smokey in, lay down with him on the table, hold his little paw, and watch his eyes close. That's what needs to happen. This dude, does he have parvo? I don't know what's going on. He's got to have some type of, he's got to be ate up with worms. And I'm an animal. I love animals. I'm an animal lover. Love animals. I got dogs, cats. Daughter got a couple of guinea pigs or something. I don't know nothing about those, but I think they're in there somewhere. I don't know. I have no idea. Each of those damn guinea pigs weighs more than Smokey. You know how Sally Struthers used to do those commercials with those poor African kids where the fly would land on his eyeball and, they would tell you that, for the price of a cup of coffee, you can save one of these kids. Boy, they need to put Smokey in one of them things for the Save the Animal commercials. One look at Smokey and you feel like you have to do something. My God. He's got to have mange, too. Mange, parvo. He's malnourished. I know he's ate up with worms. I know he is. I don't think anybody takes care of him, honestly. I don't. Just leave him in Knoxville. I'm serious. Just leave him in Knoxville. For real. He doesn't need to be out in the rain. But yeah, it would be the first bath he's had in, forever. But, he doesn't need that aggravation. He's used to the filth. He's like a pig that way. Just Smokey. How did y'all end up with something like that as a mascot? Were there not any crack babies available? If a crack baby was a dog, Smokey. God almighty. Pitiful. It's pitiful. Oh, here's another one of these. What else y'all want to talk about? Oh! You know what I was thinking? Because y'all are going to lose. But here's the thing. Don't you think the possibility exists? I'm talking to Tennessee fans and everybody else too. Don't you think the possibility at least exists that Tennessee doesn't even have to win this game? Tennessee could lose by 7, 8, 9, 10 points, 13 points, right? Huge moral victory for Tennessee. Think of the bulletin board material. Think of the motivation going forward in the season. Think of the lines you could tell the recruits. We hung in there with Georgia this year. We didn't lose 40-something to 12 this year, Mr. Recruit. We hung in there. We only lost by 13. I mean, y'all could put a banner up for that. Jeremy Pruitt could put it on one of those little whiteboards that likes to whip his ass on occasion on the sideline. This could honestly be a huge moral victory for Tennessee if you guys can keep this thing within a couple of touchdowns. I think you could use that going forward. This could be the motivational boost you've needed. This could be what you've been waiting for. To not get blown out by UGA. Could it happen? I don't know. Probably not. You're probably going to get blown out. But I'm just saying, this gives you something that's at least possible to attain. A huge moral victory. Think of it. Listen, if Tennessee somehow keeps it within 2 touchdowns of Georgia, it would be a major miracle. But if they somehow kept it within 2 touchdowns of UGA, this would honestly be the biggest thing to happen to Tennessee since they won that NASCAR title in week 2 back in 2016 when they beat an unranked Virginia Tech team at a racetrack. Remember that? That was amazing. That really helped them. I'm sure this would too. This would be the biggest thing to happen to Tennessee since they won the inaugural Life Championship back in 2017. Tennessee is due. Tennessee is due. Think of it. What was the last meaningless accomplishment Tennessee had? Beating Indiana maybe in the bowl game, the who gives a shit bowl. I bet there's not 5 people who even know what bowl they played in. This would be huge for Tennessee. They go to all the recruits' house, brag that they only lost to UJ by 13, put up flyers and stuff in the weight room as motivation, you know. Have Cade May's dad come in and give everybody a high 4. Is Cade May's dad named Karen? Oh, what a Karen. You got to be a serious Karen to try to sue somebody because you don't know how to work a folding chair. My God. This is as bad as that bitch that went through McDonald's and spilled hot coffee in her lap and then tried to sue McDonald's for the coffee being hot. Hey, Kevin Mays, you fucking idiot. The folding chairs were invented like the day after fire. How do you not know how to work one? Man, that's a you problem. That's a you problem. It's a toxic environment at UGA. Woo! Yeah, especially toxic when you're 3rd on the depth chart. This guy was a rotational player. And I don't know if I mentioned, but his dad only has 4 fingers on one hand because he can't work a friggin' folding chair. Oh, it's toxic. We'll sue UJ. This shit toxic. They have folding chairs. Oh, the humanity! Good luck with a moral victory, though. The good news for Tennessee fan, of course, is that Pruitt is the answer. That's right. Just ask any of them and they'll tell you. Now, keep in mind, these are the same fans that told you Lane Kiffin was the answer before he disappeared in the middle of the night. Derek Dooley was the answer before he couldn't win a game. Butch Lyle Jones was the answer. You guys remember that? 9 games into the 2016 season, Butch Jones was the answer. He was the truth. It was all paying off. They had that alien, Josh Dobbs. They had Alvin Kamara and Jalen Hurd. They even had players on defense who you had heard of. Week 9, they were in the driver's seat. They had beat Georgia, the biggest win Tennessee has had since 1998, by the way. A regular season win over a 5-loss Georgia team. They had beat Georgia and Florida in the same year. You know how rare that is for the Voltard? Week 9, they're in the driver's seat. Week 10, they're cruising to an SEC East title on the back of none other than Lyle fucking Jones. Week 11, at South Carolina, Jalen Hurd gives you one of these in the middle of the game, says he's not playing anymore. You lose. All you had to do was win one of your last 2 games, and you would have won your first division title since 2006. Last game of the year, after a beating at the hand of the Shamecock. No worries. Everything is golden. All we have to do is beat our little brother Vandy, and we're in the SEC title game. Lyle marches his troops out in the last week of the regular season. Tennessee Voltard takes the field and gets their absolute shit pushed in by Vandy and lose the East. But Butch was the answer. 2017, the infamous 0-8 season. 0-8 in the SEC. What is that even like? Georgia beat you 41-0 that year. Took your soul. Pried your mouth open with a rusty pair of pliers and took a shit in it. In your own stadium. God almighty. Imagine the embarrassment. I can't relate. And you fired him. Then you started interviewing for new head coaches. 1, 2, 3, 4 head coaches interviewed. All turned the job down. Never fear. Never fear. Gruden to the hill. That's right. That's right. Tennessee was going to hire John Gruden. He was going to ride in on the back of Peyton Manning's neck and forehead and save the day. Didn't happen. Interviewed a 5th coaching candidate, a 6th, a 7th, and then lightning struck. Greg Schiano. Y'all actually tricked him into taking that job that nobody wanted. Greg Schiano. The fan base, which is 99.9% Karens. This was the original cancel culture here. Tennessee fans went out with picket signs and all kinds of dumb shit. We're going to boycott. We're going to boycott if you hire Greg Schiano. Should have been boycotting when you couldn't beat Vandy, is what should have been doing. So then he walks away from the job. In comes Phil Fulmer. My God, this fat tub of nothing. Interviews an 8th guy, a 9th guy, a 10th guy. Nobody would take the job. Until you interviewed one Jerome Pruitt, the Charlie Brown of college football. It was a match made in heaven. Nobody wanted the Tennessee job. Nobody wanted Jerome Pruitt. What could go wrong? Well, 5-7 could go wrong. That was his record his first year. Didn't matter. Didn't matter. That was an improvement. That was an improvement, Lou. We were 4-8 last year. Pruitt improved us to 5-7. Next year's the year, Lou. Next year's the year. Year 2. Remember, Lou? Kirby made it to the national title game year 2. Why can't Tennessee do it? You know why. Year 2 comes around. Ah, dang, you lose to Georgia State and BYU. The death of General Voltard. Never to come back again. Unless you beat Georgia, Florida, or Alabama. So, like I said, General Voltard, never to come back again. But yep, year 2, the magic year. This is the year. Every year's the year. Every year's the year you're finally winning the East again. Every year's the year you're finally winning the SEC for the first time since last century. How have you not won the SEC since last century? That's pitiful. That's pitiful. Pitiful. No major bowl win since 1998. Haven't played in a Sugar Bowl since 2007. A pathetic program. A piss poor excuse for a program. And that's what it is. This is an excuse. It's not an actual program. You lose to Georgia State and BYU. Season's over. Oh, pack it in. We're going 0-12, blah, blah, blah. Then you reel off those 6 meaningless wins at the end of the year against the worst teams God ever put on this earth. Beat Indiana in a miracle come from behind over what was a 6-win Indiana team. Miracle come from behind victory. We have to listen to you nitwits all off season. And that, my friends, is why I have been looking forward to this week for so long. The Tennessee fan is not trolling. They're not kidding. They're not just saying that. because of trash talk or I'm a fan, I'm always optimistic. No, they 100% believe that because they beat South Carolina twice, Missouri twice, Kentucky, Vandy, UAB, and Indiana, whatever, whoever the hell, they honestly believe that because of that and because of an underperforming offensive line, I'll give Tennessee credit. On paper, they've got a great offensive line. The problem is you don't play the game on paper and they're not performing that way. They're not in the top 10 ratings of offensive lines in the country. That's not Uncle Lou's opinion. Look it up. Pro Football Talk, Pro Football Focus, all these groups that rate the players in the position groups, they're not in the top 10. Georgia's third. Nothing but disappointment. Why is anyone surprised that the best unit that Tennessee is supposed to have had in forever, this year's offensive line, is sliding a paper Dixie plate out onto the 50-yard line of the stadium and taking a giant doo-doo on it through the first 2 weeks? Why is anyone surprised? They shouldn't be. They shouldn't be. Oh, look, we got a real offensive line now. Everybody on notice. Hey, we're putting everybody on notice. We got an offensive line. We got a couple of 5-star that Cade made. I'm putting everybody on notice. Hey, listen to me. I'm a Tennessee fan, and I'm putting everyone on notice right now. Tennessee's got a legitimate offensive line. Yeah, and who's that offensive line blocking for? Jarrett Guarantano. I just want to remind you. You know what? Actually, let's give Tennessee credit. They are trying to do the offensive line and defensive line thing. They are trying. Jerome Pruitt is putting his focus in that area. Let's give him credit. He's copying Kirby Smart. That's what he's trying to copy Kirby Smart in hopes that he'll have somewhere near the level of success that Kirby Smart has had. Now, the problem is, of course, Tennessee has about 50% of the talent that UGA has and about 25% of the coaching ability. So, you know, I mean, listen, I can trace a Picasso. That don't mean I can paint. Jerome Pruitt is a clown. He's a clown. And Tennessee fans, listen, you've got more head coaches in the last 10 years than you do wins against Georgia, Florida, or Alabama combined. And you'll have another head coach 2 or 3 years down the road. We all know that. It's a rinse and repeat situation at Tennessee. I honestly don't even know why Tennessee still participates in these games that they know they're going to lose. I guess it's because they're not playing for wins. They're playing for things like fake racetrack titles and life championships and try-hard awards and, you know, all this kind of stuff. But I have a pretty good feeling Tennessee is going to show up in Athens this weekend because they keep doing it every other year. I don't know why, like I said, but they keep doing it. So I have a feeling they're going to make the drive or the flight or whatever they're doing, a tractor or whatever. I don't know. You think Jerome Pruitt butt chugs? I don't know. Anyway, I'll make you a deal because I like to do this. I know it's the first Uncle Lou video you've ever seen. I'll try something different today. But I'm going to make you a deal to the Tennessee players if they're watching. And let's be honest, they are. Every single one of them, they're watching. The conference and CBS have scheduled this game for 3:30 tomorrow, Saturday afternoon in Athens. Georgia's going to be there. Georgia will be at Sanford Stadium all day. So we'll just hang out there all day. In case, but by some off chance, the Tennessee Voltars decide to actually show up. So Tennessee, if you guys want to come to Athens and get your booty hole ripped open on national TV for God and your mother and everyone else to see, then drag that group of kids that never made it past the first round of a spelling bee to Sanford Stadium on Saturday at 3:30. Bring your moonshine too, you bunch of backwoods inbred hillbilly hicks. It'll help you drown your misery after this ass beating that Georgia puts on you Saturday. If that sounds like something you're into, then come get you some of this, bitch!